He's manned up and said, look, y'all were right. This is happening right in front of our eyes. I can't deny this no more.
5, 6, 7, 8. Do the math. 9 times 8, that's 72 bands.
Since 2020 till now, more than 35 to 40 million, yes, that's with an M, people have come across our border illegally. This is what he said. They are more diverse than anyone else in the world.
And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. We're going to have to be working with a whole group of people that, in fact, are the single most diverse democracy in American history and anywhere in the world.
A few months back, we've made the video about a immigrant crisis coming across the border. We showed you some video from Facebook about this man interviewed them as they passing him by. Where are you going? Chicago. Where are you going? I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but you remember that video clearly, I hope. Well, we ran into some flack about it. One, because we were either making them out to be the bad guy, we weren't reading things right, or you weren't underground, you don't understand what's going on. But thankfully, and this is the best part of what we do, is we get to see when people wake up and they start to realize that, man, I want to thank you guys for really opening my eyes. And I'm so glad, but not just that, I got to see this firsthand. An individual had some hit back about us and about that particular topic. And recently he made a video because he ran across the event in real time in his own town for himself. And I commend him for making this video, because while many may not be man enough to say they were wrong about something, he not only had the heart to say I was wrong, but videotaped it, put his face out there, and showed the world what exactly is happening right in front of eyes. So take a look.
What y'all on your way to Chicago? Wanna go get that 9,000? Yeah. Get that 9,000. Yeah, they about to go get that 9,000. But my boy getting his coffee. They about to goddamn go to the city and get that 9,000. That's 2 right there, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Do the math. 9 times 8, that's 72 bands. 10. Y'all going to Chicago? Chicago, go get that 9,000. Go get that 9,000. Chicago. Facts. Shit terrible, man. And this motherfucker right here. Look out. They rolling. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
Now, his face may look familiar, and if it does, it's because we made a couple of videos, both with, about, and him in retort to us. But in this case, he has finally seen what we had been talking about, and just like an actual man, he's manned up and said, look, y'all were right. This is happening right in front of our eyes. I can't deny this no more, and I have to be on your side with this one. That's what a real man does. You see the error of your ways, and you change it. Unlike the person that predicted this was going to happen because he was going to make it happen himself. Who am I talking about? Mr. You Ain't Black himself, Biden. Back in 2020, he had a meeting on a Zoom call with I wonder what I call them, if they're black leaders or a few black people on screen. They called themselves leaders, but a leader leads, these were not leading. And he told them in no uncertain terms, but by the year 2040, that the population of America will be minority white, and that the Hispanic population will be making a larger proportion than both whites and blacks combined. What has happened since? If you take a look at the demographics, right, we have about 40 to 45 million African Americans right now on American soil. Back in 2020, the mix was about, I don't know, a couple million more of Hispanics than there were black in the United States. But the buying power and the voting power still rested in the black populace. So what do you need to do in order to take that power away from the people who are no longer really listening to you en masse? You bring in somebody who will, by offering them something that no one else will. Freedom. So what has happened since 2020 till now? More than 35 to 40 million, yes, that's with an M, people have come across our border illegally. And just like the video we talked about, they each have a location to go to. And if you've kept up, you've seen Chicago, New York, Maine, California, a bunch of these big cities, just giving them everything they could possibly want. Meanwhile, The other population gets nothing. He told you this would happen. They're on a fast track to hit 2040 with 10 toes down. Right now, there is a very high chance that by 2040, exactly what he said will take place. Minority white and the black population will have to work with the Hispanics. And this is also what he said, who make up and have a higher, I'm not the one that said this. This is him. Okay, so don't throw no stones at me. This is what he said. They are more diverse than anyone else in the world.
And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. We're going to have to be working with a whole group of people that, in fact, are the single most diverse democracy in American history and anywhere in the world.
In history, Hispanics are. Talking to who? The Black Caucus. Now, I'm not judging any of the men or the women that were on the panel, but I kind of expected a little pushback to say, we're diverse. What, we chop liver? But the plan was not to cut, it was, I wouldn't say, it's a half backhanded compliment. You're awesome, but you're not as awesome as these guys. You're good, but just not good enough. We want you, but we want other people more. You see, because you're starting to wake up, just like Mr. Regis there. You're waking up, you're seeing what we're doing, and we cannot afford to depend on you anymore because you're not dependable. We can't keep you emotional long enough anymore. We can't offer you enough stuff anymore. And we cannot keep you down anymore because you are starting to see that that was the plan from the very beginning. I am happy that people like Regis have now seen exactly what's going on and that they are man enough to bring it to the light and want to do something about it. Sometimes it's not that you're beating a dead horse. Sometimes it takes a bit to revive that horse. Sometimes the horse is playing dead. In some cases, it's not even a horse. In this situation, though, we resuscitated what was seemingly dead, and it is trying to take off running back home. And that is one of the best feelings ever. Because once you've actually awakened and you start to buck against the system will do what? Inevitably fight you. But just remember, you're a horse. They're humans. One kick from you and that's it. I don't know if y'all ever seen what a horse can do with a rear kick, but trust and believe you don't want to get one. You don't want to get one. So for all intents and purposes, while it felt like we might have been beating a dead horse, all we really did was took our time and resuscitated it. And now we can watch it just like a wild stallion run all over the place and finally get the freedom it deserved.